What's up? What's up? It's your boy 22 Octaves. I just want to welcome everybody to the page. I want to kick it off with giving a good story about self-love. I talk to a lot of people about self-love. I just feel like I have a few gems that can help a few people out, man. Where I'm going to start at is just how to identify love and how to identify God. I talk to a lot of people, and I always tell them they have to identify God to see how he works in your life. And identifying God and seeing how he works in your life will also help and guide you on self-love. So I don't have many examples. I try to keep it as short as possible. But, if there was ever a time in your life where, you felt lucky or, something happened where you're like, well, that's a coincidence. It could be a manifestation. It could be somebody came into your life and you thought it was part of your alignment or some sort, or alignments are a big thing too. Something may have came into alignment and just made you feel like lucky or special in a way. And I feel like those are those times where people aren't really able to identify God correctly, but I feel like it's those times when you're able to see God's true work or when he's actually working in your life. And you gotta be aware. You have to use your third eye, and you have to be aware and be awake and aware of the things that are going on around you to be able to understand when God is working and how he works. And the reason why I say that is because the more that you're aware of how God works and when he works, the more that you can be aware of God themselves and how they work in your life. All right. And why I feel like that's so important is, like I said, a lot of people go throughout life, they don't know how God works, or they don't know when God works, and it's these times when God is working in your life and you just have to identify how and when he works. The reason why I tie that into self-love is because you got to understand, when these things are happening to you, when these miracles are happening, when these manifestations are happening, when all these good deeds and these great things are happening to you, that is the universe, the Most High. That is God's way of showing you how he's working with you, through you. You understand, with you and through you. So when you are identifying these things that are happening, you're also identifying God's work within your life. And the most important thing about that is just to understand that when those things happen, that's when you're able to identify the love that God actually has for you and the work that he's actually doing in your life. And it should bring you to a place of peace and a place of happiness and a place of appreciation. It should let you know that God loves you, and the Most High loves you enough to show you how he's working, to show you how he loves you, to show you the miracles that happen in your life. The Most High loves and appreciates you enough that he's singling you out and showing you, hey, look, this is how I'm working in your life. And I bring that point up to everybody about self-love because I think once you identify God and you identify how he works in your life, then you're able to identify how special you are to God, and you're actually able to see the actual love in the actual works that he does in your life. So, and to move forward, I can go deeper into that because, the more that you're aware and the more that you acknowledge God's work in your life, the more gratitude you show towards the miracles and the things that happen, the stronger that will become. The more aware you will be, the quicker the manifestations happen. And the more aware that you are of God's work around you. And also, just like what I'm doing right now, the more you're able to spread self-love to other people and let them know how to be aware and how to wake up and how to be able to see God's love and how to see God's work within their life. Because that is the key to self-love. Understand that you're special and understand the powers that God has given you and understanding and knowing thyself. And being happy. We don't always have all the tools. Some of us are born with certain abilities. Some of us are born with other abilities, and that's where the self-love comes in. Don't feel bad that you don't have the same ability as the next person, or you're not as good as at a certain thing than the next person. It really comes down to showing how God works in your life, what abilities he gave you, what good qualities he gave you, and being happy for the qualities that you have. Nobody can do what you do, and you can't do what other people do. So with that being said, you're very unique. And the things that God has given you, you should be proud and be thankful. And the more that you're aware and the more that you're able to use those talents and see God's miracles and see his work, the more that you'll see and the more that you'll fall in love with yourself, because you're able to see the talents and the gifts that God gave you. I hope this kind of helps you guys with self-love. This is a short introduction to my channel, 22 Octaves. I want to thank everybody for checking this out. I'm also going to do a visual presentation of this where I draw it out and explain it a little bit more. But this was just my presentation. I'll show you my face. And just my first video to my channel. I'm not, editing anything. I'm going to keep it as raw as possible. And this is a big spiritual journey for me. And I just appreciate everybody that's going to tune in and that's going to be a part of this journey. Just understand I have nothing but high knowledge, high level consciousness, and great thoughts and ideologies and theories to bring to the table. And I just hope everybody is here to learn and grow with me through this journey. I love everybody. I love myself, and I love the Most High. Everybody take care. 22.